bit weird, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I've got a splint on my ankle now. I'm getting it looked at on Monday. Hopefully it's not too bad and I can focus on fighting still, but I don't know, I'm hoping I don't need surgery.
Obviously 4 wins in 4, you know, Christmas on the horizon. I think you've got a holiday to Thailand, right, in January.
Yeah.
You know, how have you sum up this year, given this co-main event pay-per-view debut?
Sound, innit? It's been a good year. 3-0, 2 finishes. I've just run a full 15 with a very tough opponent who, as I say, he comes to fight every time now that he's got the cardio for 15 minutes, and I've won by unanimous decision. It's all that matters. So I've had a brilliant year, an absolutely brilliant year, and long may they continue.
Just one more from me, sorry. Everyone makes a big deal about the diet outside of camp. Do you really not care what you're going to do from now to the next one? You know, everyone makes up that you go almost to light heavyweight limit as you're eating a pizza now, I guess it is.
I'll have to cookie that on.
Oh, cookie, good. Do you know, not care between, do you just go do what you want?
I don't give a flying fuck what anyone's got to say about me. I turn up on weight and shape. That's all that matters.
Cheers, mate. Congrats.
Paddy in the front right here. You said you when you coasted in round 3, were your coaches telling you that you had won the first 2 rounds, or did you feel it in there that you had won?
I knew I'd won the first 2. People don't have to tell me, you know what I mean? But when I've looked at the stats after the fight, I think I won all 3. In the cage, I thought that he won the third, you know what I mean? And when it said 29-28, I was like, yeah, good decision, I won the first 2, he won the third. But then after looking back at the stats, 4 significant strikes in the third, console time doesn't mean jack shit anymore, lad. You know what I mean?
So immediately after you felt he had won round 3, but in hindsight, you think you won all 3?
Yeah.
And did you say anything to him after? He seems pretty upset and seemed to leave the office.
Yeah, no, I spoke to him in the back. He said to me, I thought to one. I was like, lad, you're one tough son of a bitch. You know what I mean? You took some shots there and kept walking forward. Everyone always thinks they won, lad. I've lost 2 5-round decision fights and I thought I won both. You know what I mean? It's that simple. But like I said, opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one. The fact is, I won by unanimous decision.
Paddy, obviously you joked with Joe Rogan about did he pay for the interview. I'm curious, was there any part of you that regretted that thing happening this week with all the comments you're getting on your Instagram and stuff like that?
No, I don't give a fuck. I'm unapologetically myself, lad. I've had that bottled up for over a year where he talks shite. I've had all bots commenting on my page. I get on with it, lad. You know what I mean? One of them.
I think that's an issue that you and never squash, or is that just behind you?
I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Fighters are more important. I worry about fighters.
Hey, Paddy over here. Just out of curiosity, first time fighting in front of a full arena in the United States for the UFC. Just what was that experience? You know what you bring in the UK. What was it like to feel that knowing you're in a completely different country?
I felt bad for Jared when he walked out and got booed, to be honest. I did, I felt bad for Jared because he's a nice, very nice man. He didn't deserve to get booed, but it just shows how good my fans are and what star power I've got. That walkout was spectacular. That's up there with the O2, you know what I mean, and the Echo Arena in Liverpool. That was special. Lovely walkout.
I know you're going on vacation. If Jake Paul hits you up for that sparring session, are you still down, or what are your thoughts?
Lad, I'm gonna have to get my foot looked at before I do anything. That goes without saying, lad.
Jared Gordon, was that do you think the toughest fighter that you've faced so far in your career?
Yeah, probably. As I say, lad, he's one tough son of a bitch. The man's had a golf club put over his head and a baseball bat put over his head and hasn't went down. But I've hit him with some punches there. Like, I think at the end of the second, if I wouldn't have poked by accident, obviously, if I wouldn't have got in his eye, I think I would have finished him there because I had him rocked. But it's one of them, lads. You know what I mean? I'm glad I've done a full 15 in the UFC against another athlete that I know can go 15 minutes easy, and I know for a fact that I won the fight. So, as I say, I deal in facts.
And how was fight week for you this week without having Molly alongside you? The last few UFC fights for you, the pair of you been on the same card. Has it been a slightly different dynamic? Is it not the same having Molly there with you?
Fight to fight, lad. We turn up to scrap. You know what I mean? I'm always going to have this media and this big bubble around me whenever I turn up to fight, because I put a lot of expectations on my shoulders the way I talk, but I talk the talk and then I walk the walk.
Assuming you're fit and good to go early in the new year, I know previously you said you wanted to go over to Vegas and fight in the States. Would fighting on that London card, given that it's a big pay-per-view, would that be something you'd be up for? Maybe co-main under that title fight with Leon and Kamaru?
As my man said, lad, I've got it already booked in Thailand in January, but I'm not just a fighter now, lad, I'm a businessman. I've got a few businesses that I'm opening up and a few things that I've invested in, so I'm not just a fighter now, lad, I've got to worry about some of my investments, so I don't know, we'll see.
Alright, and last one from me, you mentioned your outside interests outside the fight. Tell us about this foundation that you put together.
Well, yeah, I've put together the Paddy Foundation, and I just want to try and give back, you know what I mean, and help people who get forgotten about. So, kids in the UK who are eating off food banks and are going out in their school uniform on a Saturday and Sunday because they haven't got clothes. I want to try and help people like that, and then obviously men's mental health is a big thing to me now. After, in my city, there's an epidemic at the minute of people killing themselves, young men. So I just want to help give back. As I said earlier, I want to help Jared. Jared's such a good man and he helps his community so much. So I want to work together with Jared and put some funds together with him and help some of the charities that he works with in his local community, because he does so much for them. And you know, we was enemies for 15 minutes, but we'll be friends for a lifetime.
Cheers, thank you.
Right here. Jared just tweeted a few minutes ago saying, you know, I was robbed and everyone knows it. There's a few other fighters who have tweeted out like worst decision in UFC history and things along those lines. Why do you feel that maybe the outsider perspective is so far against you as far as how this fight unfolded?
Because I'm me, lad. It's just because it's me. You know what I mean? I don't know who's saying. Who else said? Who else thought he won? Any idea?
There's a lot of people. If you like kind of look over fellow fighters on Twitter, you know, Dominic Cruz said he thought it was a terrible one. People called it embarrassing.
I was sitting next to Dominic Cruz before and we spoke about it, and I said to him, control time means nothing. Damage. Look at my face, look at Jared's. I don't care what anyone says, lad. When you look back in the history books, I've got the little green marker next to my name with a W, so everyone else can suck me arsehole.
Hey Paddy. You and Ilya have had a bit of needle this week, and you said earlier in this room that the judges gave you a Christmas gift with the decision.
Yeah.
You got a response to that?
No. Hand sanitizer boy can keep using my name for some publicity as he wants.
Is the best way for this war of words for him to be buried with a fight between you both in the future at some point?
It could happen, you know what I mean? He looked good tonight. Give him his due. He looked good tonight, he did. Bryce did rock him now in the second round. And I am a lot bigger than both of them, you know what I mean? So, that could happen in the future, but as I say, I don't know when I'm going to be fighting now. I've got to get this ankle looked at. And if I was him, like, what? He's in the top 10 in the featherweight division now, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's just beat number 9.
Yeah.
That just shows how I live in his head rent-free. You know what I mean? He's still talking about me, even though he's in the top 10 in featherweight. If I was him, I'd be asking for number 5 or something. But he's asking for the baddie, because he knows who the fucking boy is.
I know you said earlier that you don't give a fuck about what people say or think when it comes to the weight gain, but considering Ricky Hatton, who also went up and down in weight between counts, retired.
He was also a world champion though, weren't he?
Yeah, but if he retired at 28, is the weight gain...
Did he retire at 28?
That was his first retirement, yeah, and then he came back and lost to Senchenko at 33 or so.
I didn't know he retired at 28, like, I'm 28 in about 3 weeks, lad. Do you think I'm retiring in 3 weeks?
Not 28, but do you think it's conducive to career?
No. I do DEXA scans and stuff when I'm going into fights, lad. My RMR doesn't go down, you know what I mean? I do this scientifically. I don't cut big amounts of weight. The top end of the division cut more weight than me. I cut 10 pounds yesterday. I think like Makachev and Poirier and Oliveira and Gagey all cut more than 10 pounds overnight. Easily.
Well done with the win.
Thank you, bro. Anyone else? No, peace out, bitch.